The French Broad River, majestic, beautiful, serene. These terms come to mind when you first wade into its cool, steady moving waters that slowly cascade through the countryside of western North Carolina. From its mountain spring sources to its final marriage into the Tennessee River outside of Knoxville, Tennessee, the French Broad River has been one of the South's most cherished treasures for generations. Believed to be the third oldest river in the world, that's older than the Blue Ridge Mountains themselves. This probably made the river a watering hole during the Jurassic period when dinosaurs walked the earth. RiverLink's volunteer coordinator Dave Russell shares some of the French Broad's more recent history.
The French Broad River is 219 miles through North Carolina. It starts in Transylvania County, flows through Henderson, Buncombe, and Madison, and into Tennessee, where it joins up with the Holston River and forms the Little Tennessee River. It got its name. This is kind of an interesting story. There were originally two broad rivers. One was called the English Broad, and it flowed into English territory, and the French Broad flowed into what was then French territory. So the English Broad lost the appellation English Broad, and we now just call it the Broad River down south of us. The Native Americans believed that river confluences were sacred spaces, so quite often they would build their villages at these confluences. And at the confluence of the Swannanoa and the French Broad on the Biltmore estate, they've discovered the remains of an old village, and they are working on excavating it and bringing its history to light. The French Broad River was the site of the Buncombe Turnpike, where turkey drovers and pig drovers would bring their flocks and their herds to markets up and down the river. And then the railroads came through. And because the land beside the French Broad River was the flattest land around and the easiest to run a rail line, of course, the railroads followed the river, which of course led to industry following the railroads. And that's why the industry sprang up in what is now the River Arts District of Asheville. The old buildings that the artist studios are now located in were all because of the location of the French Broad River. A lot of them used water from the river in their processes. For example, the Asheville Cotton Mill was a beautiful old building that was down in the what is now the River Arts District. It was built in the late 1800s by C.E. Graham. He also built Chicken Hill, and Moses Cone bought him out, and they made fabric there for World War I uniforms, World War II uniforms, and for Levi Strauss to make blue jeans.
Man is not the only one to have taken advantage of the French Broad River. RiverLink's education coordinator, Laura Evans.
Yeah, we have amazing wildlife actually along the French Broad River, which is one of the great ways to tie in kids and the community as well. If you drive by the French Broad, you may not see anything. If you're lucky, maybe you'll see a blue heron. But what people don't realize is that we actually have a lot of diversity and a lot of wildlife here. One of them, of course, we have the highest diversity of salamanders within this area in these riverine community ecosystems. We have mud puppies, we have our long-tailed and Junaluska salamanders. We also have, in the French Broad, eastern hellbenders, which are an amazing species and one of the largest species of salamanders. And also with the French Broad and their populations here, it's helping change that perception of hellbenders being something bad. They're actually a wonderful indicator of good water quality for this area. In addition, we have some many rare species. We have Appalachian elk toe mussels, which is one of 3 rare species. We also hold the state population just in the French Broad of sharp-head darters, which is very interesting. Of course, we also have our trout fisheries. We began to reintroduce muskie in the French Broad after the 40s when they were completely wiped out. Post the Clean Water Act in 1972, we began reintroducing them. And you see people go fishing along the French Broad and get huge muskies, so that's great for that. In addition, we have a very unique turtle species. We have an eastern spiny softshell, which is a really cool turtle species unique to this area. Also, we're in the Atlantic Flyway. Most people might think of the coast when we talk about our migratory bird species, but really, along the French Broad in this area, we still have large populations that migrate through here. And the health of these ecosystems, especially our mountain bog ecosystems as well, which are tied into the water quality, it's important to realize that that's connected to not only our water, our French Broad, our Southern Appalachians, but a lot of other things as well.
The French Broad River draws thousands to enjoy its waters all year. Dave Russell.
I love to kayak, and I like both the urban and the more rural parts of the river where it's quiet. One cool thing I've noticed when I first started working at RiverLink, there was one outfitter within 5 or 10 miles of our office, and now we have 4, and maybe another one coming soon. Asheville seniors, when they had their skip day, Asheville High School, they had senior skip day a couple of years ago. Of all the things they could have done, they chose tubing down the river. And every time we can get somebody out on that river to discover its splendor, the more likely they are to take care of it. So I think it's great that we're seeing more and more people get out and get involved, whether it's canoeing or fishing. Not many people know this, but the French Broad is a smallmouth bass fishery, world renowned. Some of these guides will charge you $400 to take you out for a half day of fishing.
But with the enjoyment of the river comes responsibility to maintain it.
RiverLink is very much about public access, public space, public parks. We want to make sure everyone knows the French Broad River belongs to them. It doesn't belong to RiverLink, it doesn't belong to any government, it belongs to us. That's one of the reasons we need to take care of it. It's ours, it's our heritage, it's our place to play, our place to hang out with our families. So RiverLink is a lot about the public. We're putting in public access places where you can put in your canoes or your kayaks. We've built public spaces like Carrier Park and French Broad River Park. So a lot of our work is geared towards the public, and we really would love to see more of the public come out and enjoy it. RiverLink, and we do have some sistering organizations in the area that do river cleanups as well. We put together quite a few volunteer opportunities throughout the course of the year. We have canoes we put in the water to do cleanups. We do roadside cleanups because all of that litter you see beside the road eventually is going to wash into the river anyway. Yes, we host a series of concerts throughout the year that are fundraisers for us that allow us to go out and buy the supplies and buy the canoes and get more volunteers out on the river. If you pay attention to our website, riverlink.org, you will see a calendar there that has a list of work days that we have coming up. We do weekday work days, we do weekends, we work with a lot of church groups, school groups, all kinds of Boy Scouts, doing things to keep the river cleaner.
Another thing you can do to get your kids involved is RiverLink has a French Broad River Camp, and our mission is to educate and empower the next generation of water stewards. So it's a day camp that's a week long. They get outside, they learn about environmental education, recreation, service learning, and it's a really great way to get your children involved during the summer to have fun but still learn about this local water source.
The French Broad River. It was here long before us and will be here long after we are gone. But it is our responsibility to leave it beautiful for our future generations to enjoy and cherish as we have. Learn how you can become involved in keeping the French Broad River beautiful by visiting riverlink.org.